And Herbert Mwachiro. Good afternoon, Herbert.
Good afternoon, Robinson.
Good to have you here. It's been a long time coming. I mean, you've been to other places, but you've been running away from KTN. No, scoreline, to be specific.
Much the contrary.
Yes.
I wanted to make sure the score is right when I come, and I'm here.
Good to have you here. Of course, we want to talk about, why you are running to be the man at the helm of FKF Presidency, and, what are you expecting to do right that has not been done right, and, of course, what you hope to change in this. Of course, there is a cloud of uncertainty on when the elections will be held. But before we get into that, let's just begin with, why are you vying? Why do you want to be the man at the helm of Kenyan football?
Thanks, Robinson. I want to run because, or rather, I am running because I believe I have the right credentials for running football in this country. My experience in sports spans over 30 years. I've been a player, I have been an official, I have been a commentator in sports, and have been intensely involved in sports right from a very early age. With my experience both from a corporate and in terms of sports management, and having already been in the forefront of football management with my stint at FKF, I believe I have the credentials, I have the capacity, and I have the integrity to run football in Kenya.
People will be asking themselves, you were a NEC member at FKF. I mean, what did you not do then that you feel like should have been done at that moment that you now want to change at this moment?
Let me correct you, Robinson.
Yes.
I was not a NEC member. I was the deputy CEO.
Yes.
And in my capacity, I was not the man in charge. So whatever ideas I may have had then, I may have had to go through several other people before implementation. Now I'm looking to be the man who the buck stops with him. I want to be in charge, I want to run, and I want to offer leadership. Leadership to football.
So basically you're saying that your hands were tied then?
Let me say that I now have a better opportunity to put in my ideas for football by going for the presidency of FKF.
Of course, now let's get into this whole discussion that you want to run for this. What do you feel that has not been done right? Of course, you're saying that you want to change the way things are done. What do you feel that has not been done right so far in football in Kenya?
My approach to the way I want to do football management in this country is different. I want to go soccer mashinani, and that's what I've been talking about. I want to put a lot more emphasis on development at the grassroots level. I want to build quality from the bottom. Quality for coaches, quality for players, quality for referees, both men and women footballers. I want us to instigate quality around the country. There are 47 counties in this country. Yeah? Let us start there. Let us build it there so that we have a strong football structure, right from the bottom, moving up. I want the community, I want the people to be hands-on in terms of developing football, in terms of being in charge of football, in terms of creating what we call is a pathway for better football times for our country.
When you say that you want to go into grassroots football and develop it from there, what is this that you want to do at the grassroots level that has not been done?
Let me say, my plan, and I will insist, my plan is to ensure that football at grassroots has a development pathway. I say if you walk, you can play. I am looking at starting football coaching from under 5, under 6, moving to under 7, and moving upward. We want to create a pathway, as I've said. I want to ensure that we have the right coaches at every level. All right? We want to ensure that footballers are developed right from a lower level. We want to touch base with the academies that are there so that we ensure that our football curriculum is one that brings about quality. We want to engage with the schools at primary and at secondary level to ensure that we are bringing football to its correct startup right from the beginning. I want to bring in former footballers who are out there in the county to involve them in football. All I'm saying is let the development of our football start at the ground, start at the 47 county level, start at mashinani so that we can build. If we build from the bottom, then we have stronger leagues, stronger clubs. We're ensuring that we have quality. We want even the leadership that will be there right from the bottom to be one that is development focused, one that will be ensuring that our soccer mashinani plan is at its best.
You spoke about going to primary schools and high schools, you know, and partnering with them in ensuring that you develop football. But will you not be having a situation where there will be conflict of interest, having in mind that we do have secondary school games and there are programs that already are, you know, tied towards that?
There is no conflict of interest. We are looking at building and strengthening partnerships. Partnering with the Primary School Sports Association, partnering with the Kenya Secondary School Sports Association, partnering with the Ministry of Education to see how football can be part of the curriculum. These are initiatives where we bring about partnerships. I'm not looking to control, I'm looking to partner, all right? And that is the genesis of my Soccer Mashinani program, so that it is an all-inclusive plan for football in Kenya. That's what I'm saying. Partnerships, strong partnerships with key stakeholders. Ministry of Education with FKF. All right? County governments with FKF. All right? Even at the ward level. You remember, we have 47 counties, 290 sub-counties, 1,450 wards. Within all that, we have about 30,000 schools, which means 30,000 centers for where we can start building our football around the country. Soccer Mashinani.
Yes, we are still on that Soccer Mashinani initiative, because I feel like there are things that people should understand, and of course you've explained some. But let's get into, you say that you want to work with former footballers into, you know, ensuring that they help in the development of the young footballers that you want to see them develop into being the best that probably we have in the country. But are these former footballers willing? That is another question that what people would want to know. I mean, there are those that have tried to go into the coaching way. Yes, well and good. But are they willing to work with you in, you know, getting your goal or your dream achieved?
First and foremost, former footballers, both men and women, a majority of them have been excluded in mainstream football activities in this country. And that's a fact. So my intention is to bring them together. I know right now they're in the process of organizing themselves, forming an association that brings former footballers, and that for me is a great step, because we can then work on a partnership to work with them around the 47 counties. A lot of them, once they have finished football, are unable to transit to the next phase. Some will go and be coaches, some will go and be referees, some will go and be administrators, but we must be able to transit them. We must be able to ensure that they're empowered to work with them. I want to bring them because they are a huge resource in our football. The other day we saw Marshall Mulwa outside football. That's a resource. There's Mzee Mohamed Heri, a former national coach, outside football. That's a resource. And some of these people have got a lot of experience to motivate this current generation and generations to come, so that we can reach the heights that we want. For me, former footballers, both men and women, are key in ensuring that the mentorship that our footballers require is in place.
Yeah, we are still sticking with that. You know, you've been talking about Soccer Mashinani, so we are still going to stick with that. Let's go to...
And I'm happy. And I'm happy that you're actually focusing on what I believe.
Let's go to coaching. You spoke about coaches and having more coaches trained. So do you feel like the programs that are currently rolled out by the Federation at the moment are not enough for our coaches?
Well, I'm telling you, Robinson, we are going to bring a curriculum for football for Kenya. We are going to ensure that we are catering for every level of grassroots within the coaching programs. I'm talking about ensuring that we have specialist coaches at every level. Coaches who can coach 5-year-olds, then transfer them to 6-year-olds. Coaches, transfer them to 7-year-old coaches. We must be stepping up a ladder. And you can't have a coach who coaches 5-year-olds at the same time going to coach 13-year-olds. The skill sets are different. I am looking to widen our coaching base. I am looking to ensure that we have more specialist football coaches, so that the development of our football, the quality of our football is controlled, built. So by the time you have started with a child who is 5 years old, and by the time he gets to 18 years old, he has actually been handled well. He has actually been trained well. He has been developed well, because the right coaches were in place to oversee his development.
Let me ask you, are you in some way trying to go the China way, in that they've made sure that young ones throughout the country have access to football fields because they want to win the World Cup in the future. Is that a way that you are trying to go?
I don't know what's happening in China,
yes,
but I know what needs to happen in Kenya. We need to develop our football from the ground. We need to ensure that the quality of our football starts being developed from soccer mashinani. And if it is through academies, it is through primary schools, it is through having talent identification centers right at the basic level of our country, then that's how we're going to do it. I'm looking at resources being put at that lower level. And I'm saying to my branch chairman, 30% of the resources that will come in will go straight to the branches for the development agenda.
Yes.
30%. Monies right now, resources right now are being put at the top. But I'm saying, no, let's take those resources because they're stuck at the top.
Yes.
Let's take those resources and put them down at the ground. Then we start building from there. All right? Because if we ensure that there's resources at the grassroots, then the football wheel starts turning. The conveyor belt of football quality for both boys and girls starts happening there. And once it starts happening there, the rest falls into place. That's what I'm saying. 47 counties, we do the same thing. We replicate it from number 1 or 001 to 047.
Speaking about what you've just said, you mentioned of talent identification centers. Remember, way back we used to have talent centers. So is this something that you have to plan to be planted in every single county, the 47 counties that we have, that you have a talent center there, and then from there, at least it will be easier for coaches to access some of the players that will be placed there?
Yes, Robinson.
Yes.
At least in every county, at minimum, we must have one talent identification center. There are some counties that will even see the growth of many TIFs because of the vast size of the counties. Yeah, and then I'm saying, let's have at least one.
Yes.
So that we start picking and identifying the talent.
Yes.
We start ensuring that even via capturing these talents via technology, setting up a database to ensure who our players are, right from the grassroots moving forward, we're able to have a system of monitoring and evaluation. That is what great coaching is all about. Monitoring and evaluation, the talent in place. So that when you select national teams, under 17, under 23, under 23, and the main teams for both men and women, boys and girls, we know that we have been watching and mapping talent right from the grassroots.
Of course, Herbert Mwachiro giving us some of his thoughts on why he should be the Football Kenya Federation president. We take a short break, but when we come back, we continue the conversation with Herbert Mwachiro. We want to know more on why he wants to be the Football Kenya Federation president, and also what he intends to do for women football in the country. That will be after the break.
This is KTN News.